kids are spoiled because you made them spoiled. You've created Frankenstein yourself.
This is pure power play. This stops here now.
The nation's favourite no-nonsense nanny is back.
Do what you're supposed to do as a parent. Stop copping out.
A third of UK parents think they're doing a really bad job. I don't think it's that bad. I just think a lot of parents have stopped reaching out. They've stopped being honest about the mistakes that they're making.
My daughter's the way she is because of no help and support.
I'm just really tired.
Because everybody thinks everyone's doing a better job behind closed doors, and quite frankly, we've all got the same issues.
Just want a normal family life, that's all I want.
Really, what I'm saying is we need to start talking more. Put your hands up.
Jo Frost wants to lift the lid on Britain's parenting woes and get mums and dads to share what they know.
Are you pleased with yourself?
Yes.
In this series, she's investigating the big issues facing today's parents.
Do kids get enough exercise?
Which one do you like?
That one.
Why?
Because it's the skinniest.
As well as tackling some of the most extreme problems she's ever seen.
You're going to end up with a child who could die before you do.
I don't like dogs.
Why not?
Because you changed you into a horrible mother.
She's on a mission to make us all better parents, but has she taken on more than one woman can handle?
Sometimes your job's not easy. Go!
This week, Jo finds out if we're raising a nation of dangerously unfit kids.
Look at me skipping like a boxer!
She helps a boy crack his up to 80-hour-a-week addiction to computer games.
He'll have his breakfast, his lunch and his tea sat at the computer.
£450?
And comes to the rescue of a mum nearly bankrupted by spoiling her kids.
You're not being nice to me, so why should I be nice to you?
We conducted a survey of mums and dads from across Britain to find out what struggles they face as parents. One issue came up time and time again.
It's very difficult not to.
I think that's probably our one big downfall.
I love spoiling my children.
I feel that buying them something is making up for me not being there.
The most extravagant present I've ever bought for my 2.5-year-old son is his £500 electric car that can carry an adult. I have no justification for buying such a ridiculous gift.
You look at the children today and how many toys they have. I mean, we used to have camps in the garden and kind of go and climb trees.
His first car cost more than my first car. And mine was actually a real car with a real engine.
And a cardboard box with a marvellous toy. You could do all kinds of things with that.
For Madison's 9th birthday, I must have spent a couple of £1,000 on her.
The Wren family from Glasgow are a cautionary tale of what happens when you overindulge your kids. Madison is a child who wants for nothing.
This is my Christian Dior dress. I think it was quite expensive. I've also got a Just Couture top.
Her mum Moya has spent thousands trying to keep her happy.
Anything I have, I just spend on my kids and the way they look and the way they dress and what they want.
Another Just Couture tracksuit.
I've got dresses that I bought from Harrods. She recently got a custom-made outfit that cost about £450.
But designer clothes are only a small part of this 9-year-old's expensive lifestyle.
The pageants cost a lot of money. And this weekend I'll probably be out about £500. Do you want your teeth white and stuff on? The weekend after I've got London and I've got Dallas the week after, so all in all this month I'm probably going to be out about £5,000.
And all this doesn't come easy on a beautician's wage.
I'm in debt, thousands and thousands. So I'm having to sell my house to pay it off.
But Moya's paying an even greater price for spoiling Madison.
Mummy, do it, Mummy, do it. Madison, come here and see. She's just a little diva. And her moods affect the whole house.
I'm having the medal final.
It's stubbornness, it's cheekiness, it's arrogance.
Your granddad, whatever his name is.
Granddad, right?
Yeah, Granddad, right, gave me like £30 or something on a cheque and you took it.
Yeah, I took it and put it in my bank.
It's my money.
So I paid for all the stuff.
It's my money.
Madison knows how to play Moya.
Now tell Grandad, right?
But Moya kind of basically told her off. She went over to her mum and she spat in her mum's face.
Madison, you were told not to come in.
Sorry, I need my glasses.
Don't speak to me like that. If I tell her off, she still doesn't listen to me. She'll go in even more of a stroke. I think this is the time for somebody professional to step in and sort her out. Hi, Joe. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you, Moya. Hi, Leah. Hi, pleased to meet you. Hiya.
And there's Wild Child.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Good. Is this one the one who gives you trouble, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, where are these girls going to go? Because I'd love a chat with you.
Yeah, they can go. Where you going? Garden, upstairs.
Skedaddle.
Bye.
Bye. Leah's really grounded and I can just see Madison ending up a right diva if it's not nipped in the bud. I'm good to her. She gets taken to all her pageants and do anything for her, basically, and she's just dead disrespectful. I don't know what it is.
I want to know what you do for her.
Bath her, wash her hair. Sometimes I'll clean her teeth, dress her, clear up after her.
So she doesn't do anything then? What kind of discipline have you given her that you followed through on at all?
Nothing. I've never followed anything through. I've always give up.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really starting off something. Look at that model with attitude. You're really going to, like, do the self-prophecy there, aren't you? How much does this cost?
250 quid.
£250? God, that's more than my whole outfit. Go on.
200.
£200 for that?
That was in the sale as well.
You could get you could get more than
2 weeks shopping.
2 weeks shopping?
That was the whole tracksuit, was 200.
200? You've got no money.
I know.
Your money's in your wardrobe.
I know.
This to me is madness.
I know.
It's madness when you're in debt because you haven't got your priorities straight.
No, I haven't.
It's another what? This is another £200?
A £200 tracksuit, yeah.
That's 2.5, 3. Got over 3.5 grand here.
I know. And that's not counting what's in her ironing and downstairs in the washing.
Why does she have to wear stuff that's got labels on it?
Both the kids are like that.
Why?
Probably because of me, because I've always dressed them like that.
To be honest with you, kids don't really care unless it's rubbed off from the parents.
Yeah.
They don't know no difference.
No.
They certainly don't have no value for money.
Yeah.
They don't know how hard you have to work to be able to afford one of these T-shirts or one of these dresses.
Yeah.
Because they don't understand the value of that. You put a price on your love.
And I don't really.
Do you understand that when I say that? You put a price on your love.
Yeah, and
if you love them, then they know that they're going to get a T-shirt or they're going to get a dress. Your kids are spoiled because you made them spoiled.
Yeah.
Because you ruined it.
Yeah.
Because you bought them stuff that you know is not necessary.
Yeah, they don't really need it.
You know, you've created Frankenstein yourself. Do you understand what I mean when I say that?
Yeah, Just made a total arse of my life over the years. I could be actually sitting all right. I've just got my priorities wrong for far too long. And probably deep down I've known this all along and I've just I've not known a way how to stop it.
The reality is, if you're a parent that thinks the only way you're going to show your kids that you love them is by buying materialistic things, then think again. Because, you know, it's the wrong love. It's not love. It's unhealthy.
You need to get your shoes on.
Kids want time.
Thank you.
They want parents who are going to put them on the right path and give them guidance and direction, teach them right and wrong. She's either ready to hear that truth or she's not. And if she's not ready, then things won't change.
Jo Frost is on a mission to help struggling parents across Britain and to answer some of the big questions preying on every mum and dad's mind.
Should we be worried that our kids are not getting enough exercise? I am in Armoury Square, Leeds, holding one of the biggest children's fitness tests today in 50 years.
Leeds Metropolitan University recently rediscovered the results of a 1959 test that measured the overall fitness levels of more than 3,000 7 to 10-year-olds. Jo is repeating the same test today to find out if kids are as fit as they were 50 years ago.
OK, boys and girls, are we ready to
to show what we've got as a team? On your marks, get set, go! That girl, go on.
In 1959, this series of 8 exercises from skipping to sit-ups to sprinting and squat thrusts provided schools with fitness standards that kids would need to meet to keep healthy. Professor Jim McKenna, an expert in the field of physical activity and health, is helping Joe conduct the experiment.
So taking a look at all of this, I mean, what do you think the overall results are going to be?
I think that a lot of them will be quite similar to what we've seen here. If you're not getting somewhere around or beyond these, you're not active enough. Yeah. And parents can take this away, and these are ready reckoners. They can try them at home, try them and see how your children do it. Try them yourself.
Kids today should have a big head start. They've not only got better nutrition, but access to healthcare and more organised sport.
I look at the board here and I see the shuttle run. Yeah, in 1959, 17.5 seconds. Yeah. I mean, do you think that the kids would do that in less time or more, really?
Possibly somewhat similar. And bear in mind, this was 1959. We've just come out of rationing, etc. Yeah. They're way advanced, and it's largely due to nutritional improvements.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Really interesting.
But are the parents as confident in the results?
I think the 2009 kids will win, because I think they're more active nowadays.
Well done.
They're like rockets, look at them.
I think 2009 put up a good fight.
We have the last 4 competitors on the run. Let's hear it for them.
Find out later whether this generation have anything to be cheering about. Or will the results be a shocking wake-up call for the nation? Joe's in Glasgow with the Wren family. Spoiled pageant princess Madison has her mother at her beck and call. And rules the roost with her strops and tantrums.
I think it's just really important for parents to realise that if they are questioning, why are my children not listening to me? Why am I saying things 100 times? Why are they giving me attitude? Look at yourselves first, because they're probably mirroring your own attitude. And if you haven't put rules in place and you're not following through, then can you blame the kids? They're going to do what they're going to do, and that's cross those boundaries.
Joe knows that if Mum Moya is going to get her daughter's behaviour in check, then she needs to put some parenting basics in place first.
You're going to need to establish rules. What do these girls need to be doing every day?
Helping me.
Yeah, so they've got chores.
That also means disciplining the kids when rules are broken.
Madison's consequences would be no Hannah Montana, no playing out, no DS.
If you don't put your foot down, you're going to allow these kids to treat you the way they want to. And then you know what? You're sitting there wearing the thorns and the crown yourself, and you've only yourself to blame. So if you want the respect, then you've got to give it to yourself first, otherwise you're never going to get it.
OK.
You're never going to get it, Moya.
OK. Right. Do you know how for years and years and years and years I've just picked up after you and tried...
That was the rules.
Excuse me?
I can see the rules.
No, hold on a minute. I've not finished speaking, OK? See, when I tell you to speak, that's when you speak to me. You speak again, I'll send you to your room. Right? So one of the first rules is when I'm asking you to do something or I'm talking to you, there'll be no cheek or back chat. Especially from you, Madison. There'll be none of this.
I do that for a joke.
Well, it ain't a joke, because it's cheeky. It's all this is really cheeky. The next one is you'll have chores to do and you must do them every single day, because nothing comes free in life. You have to work for everything. Your chores will be tidying your room, making your bed. You can hoover up, can't you? You can.
That's for you to judge.
Do you think it's right that Mum put her foot down now and start making changes? Huh? Is that a yes? Can you speak to me properly, please?
Yes.
Now, see, if you don't do any of that, there'll be consequences.
Why are you gone into a sulk? Yeah, you have.
That's Madison.
I can
all
see
the
by
time.
I see by your face. I hope that attitude's going to change, because you see the way you're behaving. It's very ugly.
So I'm leaving you with this.
Okay.
Okay, to follow through on. Girls, lovely meeting you. Do I get a hug or not? No? You don't really want to give a hug,
If
do you?
you want.
Lovely to meet you. Okay. Come here if you want to give me a hug. Oh, that's a begrudging hug, isn't it? But you know what? The change will be good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stick with it. Don't let yourself down. Be strong enough to do it. I don't know whether this woman is going to be able to follow through with the rules. I really don't know. I hope for her sake and I hope for those kids' sakes that she starts to follow through with rules. I hope she finds this as her beginning to put that equilibrium back into her house. Who knows? You know, who knows?
Joe's barely left before Madison starts testing the new boundaries.
A hug? Madison, give me a hug. No? Okay. Don't have one then. Chico ready? You don't care? You better go and bag all your bear factory bears. Put them in a bag right now. Move. Right now.
Empowered by Joe's visit, Moya's quick to punish Madison's sulky behaviour.
Here, bin bag, every single one in the bin.
She's come up with a new incentive for Madison to behave,
All of them.
and one that might also help her learn to appreciate her things.
Every day that you're good, you'll get one of them back. Right, see all them in there? All them represents how many times you've been cheeky to me and answered me back, okay?
I just didn't want a hug, and then I said something, can't remember what. She just said, "Come bin all your teddies."
But there's no time for sulking when there are chores to be done.
Madison, go and take the washing off the line. Put the pegs in that bag. Put the washing in there. Madison, put all the pegs off the washing line in the peg bag.
That's what I was doing.
Being cheeky?
No.
It'll make it easier on yourself if you get out of that mood.
How is it when you're nice to Leah and not me just now?
But you're not being nice to me, so why should I be nice to you? Madison.
What?
Pick that up.
I don't know where it goes.
It doesn't matter, it doesn't belong on the floor, doesn't it? Where are you going?
Upstairs, because
Why?
I've got nothing else to do.
Go on upstairs then. Joe's just walked out the door and she's starting up. She's obviously not happy that there's going to be rules and regulations and consequences now. She's not happy about it because she knows she ain't going to rule the house anymore.
Overindulging kids is a problem for most modern parents. But when we spoke to mums and dads from around the country, another very 21st century concern emerged.
He can actually be quite moody, very sloth-like.
Bad-tempered.
Oh, video games, they wind up your brain.
We actually took him for a hearing test to see if there was anything wrong with his hearing, but it turned out it was just the video games that captured him so much he didn't respond.
He gets this look. It's called the look. It's the look of, like...
aggressive, red eyes, big suitcases under his eyes.
Meet the Wards from Blackpool, a family that's been torn apart by a son's computer game obsession. 10-year-old Bailey is hooked on a computer game called World of Warcraft, an online fantasy game with realistic and complex graphics where millions of players battle enemies for weapons and rewards. Bailey can spend up to an incredible 80 hours a week glued to the screen.
I do ask him to do things with us, but he'd rather just be on the computer.
Single mum of 3 Louise is terrified that she's lost her son for good.
When I try and bring him off the computer, he doesn't want to come off, which causes big arguments between everybody. On a Sunday, he's the same again, 9 o'clock in the morning till late at night, with no breaks, won't come off unless we have the fights again.
Only time I've killed a level higher than me.
I let him play on the computer because I don't know what else to do.
Computer game manufacturers warn that excessive game playing can cause seizures and recommend that parents monitor how much their kids play.
He'll have his breakfast, his lunch and his tea.
sat at the computer.
Making.
It sounds crazy, but it is taking over his life. Hence, when the newspaper said it's more addictive than crack cocaine, it looks like it could be right. His schoolwork's starting to suffer. They're going to put him on a self-motivation course. They know he can do the work, but he won't do the work.
And his obsessive game playing is affecting his sleep too.
Obviously, he comes to bed after 9 o'clock after coming off the computer. I can hear him till at least midnight, talking away to himself. It does worry me that he's going to bed and he still can't switch off. He'll write things down and plan things, something about blood elves. It's just basically taking over Bailey's life. I've lost my son.
There you go. Oh, my God. Shh. Shh. Hello. Are you okay?
How are you?
Come in.
Come in. Hello.
Say hello to Joe.
Hiya.
This is Madison.
Look at you, Madison.
And Harley.
Hi, Harley. Yeah, hi, Bailey. How are you, love? You all right? Yeah? Let's go forward out here. I'll just see the garden.
Yeah.
Just days ago, something quite shocking happened in the Ward family, and Louise is keen to offload on Joe.
So we went into a cafe, we ordered breakfast, and within minutes, seconds even, of them putting the breakfast on the table, Bailey had slumped into his breakfast and started to fit. When the ambulance came to pick him up, the first thing the ambulance guy said to him was, "Have you been playing on computer games?" And he'd done 12 hours the day before.
Why is he on it now, then? I mean, seriously, straight up. Your son, you've just told me that your son ended up at hospital, and that to me doesn't make sense. I'm sitting there thinking, you've got to be out of your mind to have him back on that computer again right now, then.
I'm tired with the stress of having the girls. I haven't got no other help on hand.
Really, what you're saying is that you're struggling with these two?
Yes. Madison doesn't sleep, and I'm just really tired. Really tired.
So you're sleep deprived? You're not getting no sleep during
I don't
the
get any
nighttime?
sleep, no.
OK. What do you think you're lacking?
Help. On an all-round basis.
So you're basically saying you want something that doesn't exist right now. As a single parent, you're wanting to not be a single parent. Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't feel like I give the kids enough time that I should be doing.
Because you choose to do what instead?
I just try and switch off from it all.
Let's put the kettle on. Huh?
Good
Let's put the
idea.
kettle on.
Why do you think I've come here today?
Because sisters don't sleep and I'm addicted to the computer.
Is that why you think I've come here?
And that's what my mum said.
I think you're a little bit bored.
A little bit.
All right, how much? That much? That much? That much? That much? That much? That much? How much?
That much.
When you tell these children to stop doing something that you don't want them to do, what do you put in place to teach them, like, consequences and stuff like that? Like, what time... Do they have a timeout at all?
Not really, no.
So say if I told you that these kids need you to be able to do the best job that you can do in raising them.
Turn it off.
What happened there?
I know I'm a mum, Joe. I know I am.
No one's saying you're a mum. That's how you're feeling because you know that there is so much more that you can be doing right now. Turn it around for yourself and for them. But I see two paths.
Right.
All right? You either stay on this one.
Yeah.
All right? And feel the way you're feeling right now, which right now is a cosy little blanket. Even though you hate it, it's keeping you warm. Or you turn around and you get busy.
I want my life and their life to change.
What you prepared to do?
Anything.
Good. So the first
Anything. And I am prepared to do anything.
I need that.
Well, that's what I'll do anything.
Okay,
You tell me anything.
Good. I met Louise under the assumption that she had this son who was addicted to playing computer games, and how could she as a parent change that? And actually what I met was a mum who was feeling totally overwhelmed with raising 3 children and placing one on a computer so that technology would babysit him while she tried to manage the other 2 young ones. Completely different story.
Jo Frost is on a mission to help parents help each other across Britain. In Glasgow, Jo instructed Moya to give her spoiled daughters more responsibilities around the house.
She's in there watching the telly.
Whilst 15-year-old Leah is embracing her new chores, 9-year-old Madison is not playing ball.
You just have to stop being cheeky, Madison, and stop answering back, don't you? Hey? Start being a good girl. You're not listening to me. Is that a mood?
No, it isn't a mood.
Is it answering back?
No.
Oh, she gets me so angry. Madison, Jeremy's on, clean your teeth.
Don't need your help, me, so go away now.
Go away, don't you speak to me like that.
Don't like you.
Don't like me. Teddy, DS, dolls.
You're not taking Teddy off me!
Am I not?
No!
You're hitting me!
You're not taking Teddy off me!
Hit me!
You're not taking Teddy off me!
Don't hit me! No!
No, well, I'm not going to sleep because I can't get to sleep without him!
Why are you being so bad? Madison.
Even angrier now you took Teddy off me!
You're even angrier? Who are you talking to? Who do you think you're talking to? Get up and clean.
Oh, what is my Teddy back?
Get up and clean your teeth.
That's all I'm asking for!
You're not.
You take everything else out of me.
Listen to me.
Teddy.
Listen to me and listen to me carefully. I love you with
No,
all.
you don't. No, you do not.
Madison,
No, you
listen
do
to
not.
me. I love you with
No,
all my
you
heart.
don't.
Listen, stay on the
you
bed.
don't.
Listen, I love you with all my heart, right? I love you that much. I have asked Jo Frost to come in and sort this situation
Well,
out.
you know what? I don't like Jo.
Oh, do you not?
No, I don't.
Oh, why not?
Because she's changed you into a horrible mother.
Why? Because I don't do
Because-
everything for you anymore.
No, I'm not saying
Because
that.
I don't
I'd
send...
be happy to hoover up just now. I'd be happy to wash up just now. But no, all I'm asking for is my Teddy back and you can't
Hold
give
on a
me
minute.
that.
I took Teddy off you because you shouted in my face.
I'm gonna go to bed. Leave me alone.
Go and clean your teeth. I honestly thought, oh, that's brilliant, Jo's come and she's going to be good, and she's
Worse now?
been worse. She's worse.
She doesn't like it because she knows that you're not going to give up now. Because you used to lay down rules and then the next minute you just let her walk all over you again, and she knows that you're not going to do it anymore. So she's obviously a bit upset by it.
Upstairs, an unrepentant Madison retrieves her precious Teddy.
She gets in my head and makes me start thinking I'm being too strict. Just want a normal family life, that's all I want. Yeah. Just want a normal family life, that's all I want.
It's going to be tough for Moya, it really is. I mean, at the end of the day, she's stuck in some rules and boundaries and she's following through for the first time. And yes, she is going to be met with serious resistance, but I'm proud of her. I mean, she's stuck to her guns and she's showing Madison that she means business. She just needs to carry on now. She needs to carry on and follow through.
It's the next morning, and the fact that Moya stood strong with Madison seems to have paid off.
I'm going to take the dogs a walk.
I'll come with you.
Can you come with me?
But there's one thing Madison has yet to do.
Sorry.
Do you mean that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stop being bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's a new day, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Although there's a glimmer of hope in Glasgow, Jo's still got her work cut out in Blackpool. Bailey looked like one of the most extraordinary cases of computer game addiction Jo had ever seen. But when she scratched the surface, the problem was altogether different.
Louise said, help. I've got a son who's addicted to computer games. She's got a son who's bored.
Jo's first step is to get the Wards out of the house and spending time together as a family. This is something they haven't done in years.
All smiles for Mum.
This is what they should be doing more. I'm certainly going to leave this as homework. She needs this lift to get out. Because once the kids are out, look at them. They're having fun just being.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea, really, to get Bailey involved with
the younger ones doing more with him. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean like play dad or take on responsibility, but, you know, just the little things that keep him connected with his sisters, you know?
Go! My pants are falling down!
You know when we were down at the beach today?
Yeah.
Did you think about World of Warcraft?
Nope.
Not at all?
Nope.
Not even once?
No.
Why? Why don't you think you thought about it?
Because I enjoy myself.
Right, this is the chart we're going to use to wean you off that computer game. 4 weeks to knuckle down and wean ourselves down to 1 hour of computer time a day.
So you can do 4 this week, 3 the next week, 2 the next week and 1 the week after.
Come on, Bailey, you're in control here. Let's go. In order for Bailey to be able to achieve this, something needs to come in play to support cutting down the hours that you're spending on the computer.
Go out.
Exactly. Now, Mum, in this box below, is going to write down the days that she is going to, rain or shine, get out with the whole family.
Great.
OK? So, I told you it was teamwork. Let's place this right in front of the computer.
I was thinking that.
Ah, you see? Look at these great minds thinking alike.
Put it underneath the computer.
I'm a realist. She's going to go through hell and back. It's going to be times when she knows on that chart she needs to be having a family day out, and she's going to be sitting there asking herself, do I really want to get up from the sofa and do this? And she's going to have to push herself if she wants the results.
But there is still one hurdle left. Louise is exhausted. She struggles for hours every night to get her girls to sleep.
Come on now, that's enough.
Jo knows that if Louise is going to have the energy to take Bailey out, she'll need to crack bedtime.
You're going to take the children upstairs, and they're going to get into their own beds. You're going to read them a story. Okay. All right? One story.
Yeah.
All right?
No,
when you've done that,
story.
kiss them goodnight, and then you're going to sit in front of the door.
Right.
And you're going to face the door, okay? The importance is that they learn to sleep in their own beds and they self-soothe with the presence of you being in the room.
Ready?
Noddy.
No, shh. Noddy was feeling very happy. Tomatoes and apples. And dear me, quite a lot of them had fallen out of the barrel and were rolling in the road. Right, we'll eat the rest tomorrow. Right, come on, into bed. Love you, darling.
Mummy! Don't sit like that, Mummy! Please give me your bed, Mummy! I don't like Jojo!
Madison's giving your mum a good run for her money.
If she wanted to, she'd stay up all night doing that.
Come here, come here.
How long is that?
How long was that?
Hey.
It was...
Look what you just did.
I know, but... Listen, no, but... Hold on a minute. Please acknowledge the good stuff you're doing.
30 minutes.
It wasn't 30 minutes.
30 minutes. How long does it normally take you?
Forever.
The quickest mum in the world.
30 minutes.
Jo leaves one very happy family, but now Louise will have to manage on her own. Earlier in the programme, Jo gathered 80 10-year-olds together to repeat a fitness test from the 1950s.
Come on, keep going with those sit-ups. Come on, you're nearly there.
How will the fitness levels of today's kids compare to their grandparents' generation? Should parents be worried about the health of their kids?
Average was 5 back in 1959.
Yeah, and I reckon the average here is going to be maybe 1, 2.
On the scores, it doesn't look like they're going to win anything more than 2 of the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, and some of them quite substantial margins.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Some of these kids take part in, you know, a lot of sports as well.
Yeah.
That's a wake-up call. OK, so 50 years ago, 3,000 children took part in the same fitness test that you did today. Boys and girls back in 1959 won quite a few of those challenges.
The boys were beaten by the class of 1959 in the shuttle run, the squat thrust, skipping, the broad jump, pull-ups and the long run. And the girls didn't fare much better. Overall, it's a resounding defeat for both sexes.
We've got to try a bit harder.
These results are certainly a cause for concern. We've been worried about this for some time, and the evidence is clear now.
But a closer look at the results is even more worrying. Of the children who took part, the top scores were comparable with the 1959 kids. But the averages were dragged down by 30 to 40% of the kids, whose low scores prove that they are shockingly unfit.
The health consequences of this level of inactivity are extremely worrying. What we will see with these children is that they will acquire diseases like diabetes and obesity. That will mean that they die younger than their parents.
Are you exhausted?
So how did we get here?
They just don't do the same as us. They sit in with computers and things like that.
I think generally they're a lot less active because they just get put in front of the TV.
I just can't get my son activated at all. He just prefers to sit in front of the computer.
Figures suggest that 1 in 2 children are not active enough. They're spending their time looking at TV, computers, and for the children in 1959, those options weren't available. They used that time to be active.
Jo thinks that one solution is to take a leaf out of their grandparents' book. In the 1950s, few people had cars or labour-saving devices in the home, so even the most inactive were kept fit by their everyday lives.
Getting busy there, girls? Do you really feel like you're just working very hard here?
The government recommend that kids do an hour of exercise a day to stay healthy.
This isn't about sport, and we're not saying to children who don't like sport to do it. We're encouraging all children to achieve 1 hour per day of physical activity. That means walking, perhaps to the shops, using stairs, doing household chores. These are all the things that will help to increase the health of our children, and it's a parent's job to create these opportunities.
Do you know that a lot of things that they could be doing around the house could keep them rather active?
What, like?
Like hoovering.
The hoovering thing sounds good.
Seriously, if your child was hoovering for 15 minutes, that would be enough exercise for like 10 minutes walking.
Really? I'm going to try that.
There's lots of things that we can actually do as a family and incorporate that in our daily lives at home that will keep kids fit in general.
Back in Blackpool, it's been only a day since Jo left her plan for weaning Bailey off the computer. But already Louise is struggling.
Pardon? You have been on the computer for 2 hours, Bailey. You went on at 11 o'clock. So why are you going moody with me? Yeah. What's the matter?
Well, why the dirty look and snapping at me? Bailey has seemed quite happy yesterday. Yes, I'm going to do this amount of hours. I don't think he's actually realised the concept of how long 4 hours is. Bailey, does your health not scare you? No. It doesn't scare you? It doesn't bother you? No. Of course you can watch the telly, but you're not playing on video games all day.
Later that night, Louise attempts Joe's bedtime routine on her own for the first time. She keeps her back to the girls and manages to ignore her daughter's pleas for attention. The next morning, however, all is not well.
I have had the night from hell. Took 20 minutes to get Madison to sleep. She woke at about 10:15. From midnight onwards, it has been every hour. Feel very unmotivated. You don't want to do it. I don't want to take you all out. Don't? Right, I won't. Trust me, I won't. I'm really tired. I'm just really tired and...
But Louise pulls herself together and fulfills her side of the bargain to keep Bailey off the computer.
Charlie, that's really naughty, that. Oh, no. We do feel better for coming out the house. I really didn't think I was this morning. I was just suddenly found my second wind from somewhere. The kids are really enjoying themselves. Hiya!
Coming up, we catch up with the families for the last time. Have either of them changed for good?
£450?
When Joe first met Moya, she was thousands of pounds in debt from spoiling her kids rotten.
200? You've got no money. I know.
As well as putting chores and responsibilities in place for the kids, she's made Moya realise that she needs to take responsibility for her actions too.
Got shirts already. 2 of these being off for you. Right.
That's smart, Mum.
I got all a uniform for less than £100. That's what I'd probably spent on her shoes last year.
Back home, Moya goes one step further and finally faces up to her financial woes by doing something she hasn't done in years.
Bill.
Open her bills.
Parking fine that I've not paid. Can't believe I've ignored it for so long, to be quite honest with you, but as they say, ignorance is bliss, don't they? What have you got?
Your pencil case and stationery.
Even Madison is embracing the economy drive by accepting hand-me-downs from her sister.
Right, so that's new. That has never been used before.
Yeah, because it's Leah's makeup bag. I think someone got her.
So you're happy?
Yeah.
Have a go. Well, do you know what? See, because you've been so good, you can go and get one of your bears back. It was actually nice to see her, like, really, really happy. She's not that happy when you're actually buying her something. She was more happy getting something back that she already owned.
3 months later, and Madison's behaviour continues to improve.
I got most of my big ones back.
She's actually been a lot more loving towards me. I do feel more an authoritative figure, like I should be. Right, you first. Joe gave me that kick up the bum that I really needed. Should have been done a long time ago.
And that's not the only household where there's been change. It's been 4 weeks since Joe last saw Louise and Bailey.
Hiya!
Hello.
Come on in.
Hello.
Hello, wait, you're in the garden painting.
See you. You are?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Are you painting?
Yeah, more paper.
Look at you.
I know. Motivated, Mum.
So what we've been doing?
Getting out and doing more stuff. I've stopped the feeling sorry for myself and I'm getting on with it. And what you've done's worked wonders. Bailey's on an hour a day now with no moaning.
You're like bubbly.
I know.
Right, sorry, Joe, don't stop for long. I've got things to do with the family. I'll see you later.
everybody's happier. You were right, I thought that Bailey was addicted to a computer. That was his babysitter. And I've realised that now, and I just can't believe the turnaround. Oh, no. Don't get me wrong, we still have our ups and downs, and, you know, but we are slowly getting there. They're definitely a lot closer than they used to be, definitely. And it's nice to see.
Presents and pictures exchanged, Jo leaves one very happy household.
My mum's been more fun because we get to go out a lot.
Fantastic.
Mum just normally stay on the computer proper late. And that's all I did. And now we go out.
How fantastic is that? I mean, there they are, you know, painting, a happier family because Louise is doing so much more with them. Bailey's achieved, you know, his ultimate goal, which was literally to wean himself off that computer and do an hour. And when you walk into a house and they've got everything going on and they're so busy and it's like, hi, Joe, but we're getting on with our lives, that's when you know you need to go because the family don't need you anymore and you know you've done your work and they're on their way and they really are. I feel good today. It feels great.
If we can do it, anybody can do it.
Hi. Hi.
Come on then, bath time. No. Not shovel time.